Hi, it's John, and welcome to the channel. Great to have you along. Today it is 5:30 a.m., Thursday, October the 9th. I've got my big blue mug of coffee this morning. If you hear some noises in the background, I'm doing the laundry. Okay, almost done the laundry. So thanks for being here, by the way. If you've subscribed, thanks. I'd love to get to 40,000. Boy, that would be a real accomplishment for this channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click on subscribe. Thank you. So I got up this morning thinking about what am I going to talk about today? I thought about talking about government, the latest non-trade deal with the United States of America, the dumpster fire that Canada continues to be. If you haven't seen yesterday's video, I'll put a card up at the end so you can click on that. Thought I'd talk about question period today, but other channels are doing that. They sit there and watch this stuff. And being an older guy, I've been watching this stuff for, since I first voted when I was 18. I'm going to turn 61 in a few months. And it accomplishes nothing. Poilievre makes good points. He tries to make points against the Liberals. They scream at him like petulant children from the cheap seats. And then Carney or one of his Liberal ministers stand up with their regular Liberal, smug, arrogant grin on their face. And nothing gets accomplished. So I thought I'd do a video today called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Ennio Morricone, right? So I'm going to give you the good first. So hold on, because I know you're waiting for the bad and the ugly. The bad is really bad. And it's really bad considering all the crap that the Liberals have done over the last 10 years. That this is a really bad thing. And the ugly is the depths of depravity as far as I'm concerned. So let's start off with the good. A personal story. Please stick with me here. We've talked about the price of housing and rent in Canada, and I've got some good news for you. Personal story. My mother-in-law moved here a couple of years ago because rent became far too expensive in British Columbia. We had her come stay with us for a while, and we encouraged her to come move to Calgary because rent was cheaper. And over the last couple of years, the rent prices have gone up. And we were expecting her to move back in with us for a few months until we found her a cheaper apartment. She got a call yesterday from her landlord. They say she's a great tenant and rental prices have come down and she doesn't have to move out of her apartment. And we were on the phone with her yesterday and she was crying because she wanted to stay in her house. She's 90 years old, very, very capable of taking care of herself. So good news there. That's good news. It's nice to hear things like that. Now, what's the bad? Now, this is one of the most disrespectful, disgraceful, disingenuous games of sleight of hand you've ever seen in your life. And I think this is an awful thing. And it's been set up for months. Mark Carney set this up months ago when he said this over and over again.
I have a simple rule. Spend less, invest more.
Spend less, invest more. So what the Liberals are going to do is they're going to try to pull the wool over your eyes by saying they're balancing the operating budget. Meanwhile, the deficit is likely to be the largest in Canadian history, and they're going to call this investment. The worst part of this is the people who voted for Carney and support Carney and the Liberals will buy this hook, line, and sinker. Let's just take a look at an article here from Jesse Klein from yesterday. This is in the the Financial Post. Liberals use accounting magic to mask their fiscal ineptitude. With a sleight of hand, Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne intends to wave away all the bad news. They're lying to us. You can't spell liberal without L, I, and E. The great magician Harry Houdini once said, "What the eyes see and the ears hear, the mind believes." This is the philosophy Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberals appear to be utilizing to downplay the dire fiscal situation they have put Canada in. Not to worry, because with a sleight of hand, Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne intends to wave away all the bad news. And on Monday, Champagne provided further details on the government's plan to move a capital budgeting framework that will see the budget split between capital and operating expenses. So the Liberals can claim to balance one side of the ledger while racking up record-setting deficits on the other. Ottawa says that capital investment will be defined broadly as any government expense or tax expenditure that contributes to public or private sector capital formation held directly on the government's balance sheet or on that of a private sector entity, Indigenous community, or another level of government. The operating budget will include day-to-day operating spending, such as transfers to persons, health and social transfers, and the costs of running government operations and services, including salaries and benefits. Basically, anything else, including capital transfers to other levels of government, corporate tax incentives, private sector R&D grants, corporate subsidies, and measures to increase the housing supply will be reframed as investments and downplayed by officials. They are lying to you, and they've been setting this up for months. And again, the sad part of this is the fact that people are going to buy this, the people who vote Liberal. This is investment, don't forget. Now, this is one of the most amazing things you've ever seen. This is from Canada Proud. Thanks to Canada Proud for posting this on X. Liberal Minister François-Philippe Champagne, who has zero experience in the financial sector, tried to lecture Conservative MP Sandra Cabina. She's from Newmarket, Aurora, I believe, a former commercial banker at TD, about finance. Listen to this.
Minister, I'd like to have a frank discussion with you. Just simple questions, simple answers. You say you want to change how you budget. And I have to ask myself, why not change your reckless spending instead? Because if I can say to my husband, buying too many purses is an investment, but that doesn't change the fact that it is irresponsible. So my question to you is, why are you changing how you present the budget rather than changing your reckless spending so that on a net basis, you actually balance it?
Well, you should ask yourself why you voted against measures that support Canadians. I think people watching at home would be surprised to see your voting records and say you voted against measures that would make their life more easy.
Very simple answer. I really want you to answer my question. Why are you changing how you're presenting it rather than actually trying to balance the budget?
I think Canadians are entitled to transparency. In a frank discussion between you and I think your husband and your family and everyone in your riding is entitled to have more transparency to see the budgeting, where their tax dollars going to be used. I think this is...
He's lying, and he's trying to hide what's actually going on here. This is going to be ugly. Really ugly when we get the budget and we find out what the numbers are. They're concerned because we could have an election based on this. Because a budget situation could result in a vote of non-confidence in the government. And who is going to support the Liberals here? Who's going to support you here? The Bloc Québécois, the NDP, or the Conservatives? Conservatives will support you on this. Who knows with the other two parties? This is the bad, and this is really bad. Now, the ugly is here. Let's go to the ugly. And you're going to look at this and say, this isn't ugly. This is a good thing, John. But the ugly is coming. In fact, it's already started. I'm going to just show you a little bit of it here. Here's Donald Trump. This is on True Social yesterday. I'm very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan. This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line as the first steps toward a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. All parties will be treated fairly. This is a great day for the Arab and Muslim world, Israel, all surrounding nations, and the United States of America, and we thank the mediators from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey who worked with us to make this historic and unprecedented event happen. Blessed are the peacemakers. Here's an article right here. PJ Media, Trump announces Israel-Hamas peace deal. How could this be ugly? Pierre Poilievre commented on this yesterday. Congratulations to President Trump on negotiating a peaceful end to the Israel-Hamas war, a monumental achievement toward generational peace. We look forward to and pray for the return of all hostages and the end of this bloodshed, so all can thrive in a lasting peace. They're talking about the Nobel Peace Prize for Donald Trump, and damn it, he should get it. But this is what you can expect. Well, in fact, let me just take a look at the response to what Pierre Poilievre said here. This is what a leader does. It doesn't matter who's negotiating the peace. This is a good thing. Pierre Poilievre is congratulating the president for an amazing peace deal, for doing a good thing for the world. The first person to respond to this is, WTF are you doing? You lie about and undermined our PM several times a day while he's trying to keep Canada alive under the threat of Donald Trump. And now you're actually kissing up to Trump. You are completely unfit for office. This is the ugly, folks. This is the ugly, because this is a peace deal. People will stop dying, but you're going to find people in Canada, the United States, and around the world hoping that this falls apart because they don't want Donald Trump to get a win here. Look at this. Democrats trying to figure out how to make Trump out to be a fascist for creating a peace deal between Israel and Hamas. This is the kind of thing you're going to see. This is my prediction. It's already happening. We've got the good, we've got the bad, and we've got the ugly. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. And I just want to remind you, if you're in Alberta on October the 25th from 4 to 6 p.m. in Edmonton at the legislature, a giant independence rally is coming up. I will be there. Be sure to be there too. Also, take your phone and record a video encouraging people to be there as well and tag it with I am Alberta. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.